All right, let's talk about building your very own AI. I mean, an AI that's built just for you. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how custom AI agents are made. We're going to go step by step and show you exactly how you can take a simple idea and turn it into a real working tool. I mean, seriously, just think about it for a second. An assistant that's perfectly tailored to what you need, whether it's for work, for school, or, just for fun. Well, guess what? That power is way more accessible than you think, and we're about to see exactly how. So here's the game plan. We're going to walk through 5 simple steps: the problem, the blueprint, its capabilities, the execution, and finally, the review. It's a really clear path from a spark of an idea to a finished AI.
Okay, let's dive in. To make this super clear, we're not just going to talk about theory. Nope, we're actually going to build something together. We'll follow the creation of a research assistant from start to finish. It's a really practical tool designed to help anyone get up to speed on new topics fast.
This right here is our roadmap. The whole creation process is broken down into these 5 main steps you see right inside the builder: problem, blueprint, capabilities, execution, and review. So let's start where it all begins. Right, first things first. Step 1 is all about the why. This is probably the most important part. Before you write a single line of code or click a single button, you have to be totally clear on the problem you're trying to solve. What is this agent's mission, really? And look how simple this is. Every great agent starts with just a few sentences. You give it a name, you describe its mission, and you say who it's for. That's it. That's the seed for everything else. So for our case study, the name is, well, Research Assistant. Super straightforward. Its job? To gather, organize, and synthesize information. And who's it for? Students, professionals, basically anyone who's curious. See how simple and direct that is? It creates a really solid foundation for what comes next. All right, on to step 2, the blueprint. This is where we go from that big picture idea to the nitty-gritty, the core logic and structure that'll make our agent tick. Now, this screen is where the magic starts to happen. It's like we're defining the agent's DNA. We've got its purpose, who it's for, what kind of input it needs, like a research topic, and even how we measure success. For this one, success is when the user understands the topic better. Okay, and you've got to see this, the reasoning mode. Now, this is a total game changer. It's basically how your agent thinks. Reactive is for, a simple question and answer bot. But for the really juicy, complex stuff, you need something more. Our research assistant uses deliberative thinking. That means it can actually break down a problem into multiple steps to figure it out. How cool is that? And you get to make that choice. So we have a purpose and we have a brain. Now it's time to give it some superpowers, and just as important, some rules to live by. This is all about its capabilities and what we call guardrails. This is where you really equip your agent for its mission. You can give it tools, like the ability to search the web or summarize articles, but look at that bottom half, the guardrails. This is so crucial. It's all about building a responsible AI by setting clear boundaries for what it should, and more importantly, should not do. And these aren't just little suggestions, they're hard-coded rules. Things like telling the difference between a fact and an opinion, avoiding harmful content, and staying away from giving professional advice. It's all about making sure your agent is both helpful and safe, right from the very beginning. We've defined the problem, we've built the blueprint, we've set the rules. Now for the really fun part, execution and review. This is where it all comes together and we get to see our creation in action. So you might be wondering, what happens to all those choices we just made? Well, the system does something amazing. It takes everything, the name, the purpose, the rules, the tools, and automatically translates it all into one big instruction set for the AI. This is called the system prompt, and it's basically your agent's ultimate job description. And this part is just fantastic. On the left here, you can see that system prompt, everything we defined for our research assistant, all written out. And on the right, a playground to test it out. You can literally start chatting with your new agent immediately to see how it does. No waiting, no complicated setup. You build it, you test it, instantly. There's this little piece of advice tucked right into the interface, and I think it's brilliant. It says, if results feel vague or off-target, refine your blueprint, not your tools. It's so true. Your first instinct might be to just throw more tools at the problem, right? But what this is telling us is that the real magic happens when you go back and sharpen your instructions in the blueprint. A clearer plan always gets you better results. And before you hit that final save button, you get this beautiful summary screen. It gives you a bird's eye view of everything you've just built. The purpose, the reasoning mode, the tools, the guardrails, it's all laid out in one place for one last look. There's even this handy little pre-save checklist. It just makes sure you've covered all your bases: purpose, tools, user, and at least one guardrail. It's that final little confirmation that you're good to go. And bam, there it is. The moment you hit save, your brand new research assistant pops up right there in your agent library. It's real, it's ready to go, and it's all yours. What an awesome feeling of accomplishment. So let's just take a breath and look back at that journey. We started with just a simple idea, a little helper for research. And in 5 clear, totally manageable steps, we turned it into a fully configured, ready-to-use AI assistant. It really shows how something that seems incredibly complex can be broken down into something anyone can do. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? The one I really want you to think about. You've just seen the whole process, from a simple thought to a working agent. So, what's your idea? What problem is out there that's just waiting for you to build an AI to solve it?